everyone, this is the Software and Computer Museum team. Welcome to the world of Nintendo 64. Today let's recall the collaboration between Nintendo and SGI that opened the world of real 3D gaming for fans of the Japanese brand. Specifically, we'll discuss the Nintendo 64, which debuted on June 23, 1996 as a competitor to Sony and Sega. Its development history began in the 90s. Silicon Graphics was looking for video game partners at the time. SGI was leading in graphic stations and computer graphics in the movie industry. In the MIPS laboratory, they developed a prototype of a new chip based on the R4000, offering high performance at a low price. Jim Clark, the founder of SGI, tried to collaborate with Sega, but their engineers declined his offer. SGI then approached Nintendo, and in 1993 they began the Project Reality. SGI and MIPS designed the 3D graphics hardware. The VR4300 CPU was manufactured with the participation of NEC. The name of the console, Nintendo 64, represented a 64-bit CPU architecture, even though the system bus was 32-bit. Most N64 games used 32-bit instructions due to the limited memory capacity of the cartridges. For the smooth functioning of the system, an RCP coprocessor was needed with 3 parts: RSP, RDP, and an I/O controller. The RAM included a built-in 4 MB RDRAM module, which could be expanded by an additional 4 MB with the expansion pack. The RCP chip had a separate processor and special circuits which allowed to reduce the load on the CPU. The development was led by Jim Forn and Tim Van Hook. The team of Project Reality modified the gamepad from Super NES by adding keys and an analog stick. The Nintendo 64 gamepad was unique due to its special design, having 3 handles and an analog stick. The SGI Indie Workstation was used to develop the games on the N64, replacing the more expensive Onyx. The Nintendo 64 used cartridges to store game data instead of using CDs, which were popular in other consoles of that time. A separate microphone could be purchased for the Nintendo 64. The console shown in our museum was released in 2000. It features Pokemon media branding. The Pikachu Edition includes a large Pikachu figure on the right side, among other modifications that made it unique. The console was offered in blue and orange colors, with the controller having a distinct inscription. The expansion port for the 64DD was removed. Iconic games like Super Mario 64 and The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time were revolutionary not only as sequels, but also as unique projects of their time. Ocarina of Time still ranks first in Metacritic's list of the best games of all time. What's common among the listed games is the open world. Players in these games had the freedom to roam and explore large open worlds. The Nintendo 64 featured 4 separate ports for connecting game controllers, making the system more conducive for multiplayer games. Among such games, one can list Super Smash Bros. And Mario Kart 64. Thanks to collaborations with many reputed companies, Nintendo 64 achieved commercial success and sold about 33 million consoles worldwide, solidifying it as one of the industry leaders. This was the Software and Computer Museum team. Don't forget to subscribe and keep up with our new videos.